Welcome to CEO of Get on the Edge Hair Studio.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, so we're here. It's been 18 years since you've been a licensed cosmetologist.
Yes, it has.
Okay, cool. You should celebrate yourself. 18 years, that's a great accomplishment.
I do. Every year I celebrate myself. I'm so proud of myself.
How did you begin building your clientele and sustaining over all of these years?
Wow. Yeah, it was a tough one. So back in 2008, when I first got licensed, like social media wasn't like pumping like it is now. So I went about it by putting business cards on people's car, and, you know, word of mouth, basically. Like, I'll do friends' hair. They'll go to work. Their co-workers will end up coming to me. Their family members will end up coming to me. And then, or, you know, people will see them in the stores. And pretty much that's how I built my clientele. Like, it wasn't from social media at that point. But, yeah, word of mouth.
Awesome. Is cosmetology your number one passion?
Is cosmetology my number one passion? That's a good question. And you know what? It's not. Everybody thinks because, you know, I've been in the hair industry for 18 years that cosmetology is my number one passion, but it's not. It's actually fashion. Fashion was my number one. I actually wanted to go to school for fashion, but I end up, you know, just sticking with the hair, going to hair school, and just becoming a hairstylist. But fashion, I felt like I could incorporate fashion into hair when it comes to like my photo shoots or, you know, things within that nature.
What was your inspiration to become a hairstylist?
My inspiration was my aunt. She brought me into the industry with me becoming her assistant for 7 years. I assisted my aunt, and I would watch her. I would ask her questions. And I realized, like, hey, like, I really want to do this. Like, I really love doing hair. So she taught me, or guided me into going to hair school. And it went from there, you know, but my aunt was my biggest inspiration.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What does Get on the Edge represent?
So Get on the Edge represents just becoming a new you and wanting a total transformation. So Edge stands for being eclectic, glamorous, distinguishable, and just exposing your beauty. And, you know, for my guys, you know, I won't want them to be glamorous, but, you know, I want them to feel like a G, you know? But that's typically what Get on the Edge is about. Just becoming a new you and just wanting to transform into a whole nother person.
What are your specialties?
My specialties. My specialty is short hair and weaves. Like, I love doing weaves because I can get creative. I can change someone into a whole nother person just by, you know, adding extensions. Short hair as well. I love short hair. I just feel like you have to have a different attitude to rock short hair. Like, you gotta, you know, it just, everybody can't do it. That's just how I feel.
Great. What is your strongest skill?
Well, my strongest skill is having the ability to give the clients what they want and having them come back over and over. You know, that's important because a lot of stylists, when they do their clients' hair, they end up doing what they want to do and not what the clients want. And that, you know, I've been hearing that complaint over the years from clients, and that's the problem. If they're paying you for a service, you should do exactly what they ask. So that's my biggest skill. Just basically listening, having the ability to listen to what they want and executing it.
Do you follow trends, or do you consider yourself a trendsetter?
Well, I would say both. So I do follow trends, and I'm also a trendsetter. So I always put my own little twist to any style. I put my own edge to any style that a client would want. But I feel like there's a lot of trends that comes out, and my clients will come to me and like, hey, you know, I want this or I want that. And I'm like, okay. And then I put my twist to it. So I would say both.
Okay. Do you find it important to keep up your hair and your overall look as a hairstylist?
Absolutely. So I've worked with stylists throughout the years that, you know, will look crazy. And I just feel like the way you carry yourself, the way you look, your appearance is extremely important because you market yourself. Like, you are your brand. So keeping up with yourself, and even if you're going to work, you're going to the grocery store, you got to always have your hair done and you got to always look good and put together, because believe it or not, all eyes is always on you. So I think that's extremely important, because I will have people run into me and like, I could tell you a hairstylist. And I'm like, how? And they're like, oh, because your style or your hair or something. And, you know, I never understood that, but that leads me to believe you just have to keep up with yourself. Like, that is just important. Like, you're your walking billboard for your brand.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your drive?
What drives me is to know that one day I want to be able to work with seasoned stylists and be able to teach up-and-coming hairstylists in my own establishment, in Get on the Edge Hair Studio. You know, I want to have a storefront. So that's my drive, like, to be able to, you know, I work hard every day to get to that point. So I'll be able to do that. That's my drive.
Okay. Okay, before we end this interview, I want to ask you one more question.
Okay.
What advice do you have for the up-and-coming stylist?
That's a good question. So my advice to the up-and-coming stylist is basically be consistent with what you do. Always take classes. Never stop taking classes, because there's always a new trend. There's always a new niche. There's always something new, a new technique or something that comes out where you have to keep up with it, because if not, you're going to fall behind. So taking classes is extremely important. On top of that, be consistent with social media. It's free advertisement. Take advantage of that. Constantly post. Take pictures of your work and be consistent with it.
Now, let's end this interview with letting the people know how to book with you.
Okay, how to book with me. I'm on all the social media platforms, but my main one is Instagram at Get on the Edge. And also, you guys, I'm coming out with a hat line. Get on the Edge hats. So these are for all my short hair girlies that cannot make it to me. Their hair looks a mess. You can still be on the edge. Rock your hat. I'm coming out with different colors, but red is the starter point because I love red. It's my favorite color. But y'all gotta cop one.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you showing your face.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.